All right, we got another Bible study. Good morning. I'm going to start off with a prayer. We got Bible study number 10, which is the Bible dictionary. Let's jump to the prayer. We got a revised, modified version of the Lord's Prayer. Our Lord Creator, who dwells within all things, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom will arrive upon the shoulders of your children. Your kingdom will be fulfilled on earth as it is in heaven. Allow us to gratefully receive each day the breath of life as a feast of nourishment. Your blessings are the lifeblood we hold sacred as a means to carry out your will. Please forgive us our offenses as we forgive our offenders, and do not lead us into temptation, but protect us and persuade us from evil. For everything light touches is your domain, and we devote our power, glory, and praise forever to you. Truly, kindly, and wholeheartedly, I pray. Amen. All right. I just wanted to create that prayer because I'll be honest. So for this whole entire point of like these series and everything like that is for disclosure, like full disclosure for the most part, but like just transparency and just trying to be honest. And so I'll just go ahead and say, I'll be honest, I don't believe in God. Like I don't believe in that stuff. I think the Bible kind of sucks and it's outdated and needs to be modified. However, I do understand that people still believe in it and they believe in it with all their hearts and everything. And so I'm trying to find a way to take people from believing in fairy tales and stuff and actually, finding truth. And like, I'm all about truth and I'm trying to get people to, get smarter. I'm trying to educate them on acquiring more intelligence. And so basically, instead of believing in like pantheons, like we look back in the history and we basically laugh at like the Greeks and the Canaanites and the Phoenicians and stuff like that, believing in their sun god and all these different weird gods and stuff like that. And yet people still believe in Jesus and this other god, Yahweh, Allah, Elohim, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's almost like you're a kid, like growing up and just still believing in Santa Claus. Like people stop believing in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy when they're like, I don't know, teenagers or like even kids and stuff like that wise up to it. Yet for some reason, still people cling on to the idea of God. And I get it. It kind of makes people feel better, especially when they're alone. Like they get desperate and they're going through trials and tribulations in life. And so they want to be able to feel like something's got their back, even when they don't feel like a direct connection to other people. I mean, they might have a lot of friends and family and stuff, and you might have friends, family, and support, but not at all times. And like other times where you found a community, and so you're already invested in this idea because you've got other benefits, like auxiliary benefits, other things that you were looking for because you wanted human connection and everything. And so you just kind of played along with the God idea until you drilled it enough in your head. It became a habit and then a lifestyle. And now it's just ingrained in who you are. And I'm trying to get people to wise up. So we need to wake the hell up. And there we go. Game time, buddy. Game time. But we need people to stop believing in fairy tales, just being able to like open their eyes and see reality for what it is, instead of just clinging on to this desperate hope that some God or creator, like I said, whatever you want to call it, like it's not something that, even if it did exist, it isn't something that the human mind like comprehends correctly. Like it's either distorted or it's just not something that we have the capacity to comprehend. Or like I'm not going to make an audacious statement like God definitely doesn't exist. I'm just understanding that the idea that people created of it was so manipulated and warped by the church and different narratives all throughout history that there's no way that what's written here is reminiscent or reflective precisely of whatever God you may have thought came to earth and presented him as Jesus and died on the cross, or whatever stories were told to describe these ideas. Like it wasn't correct. It was like the game of telephone where you start with one thing and then it changes over time, and then at the end, like what we have now isn't even reality. It's not like the truth. It's become distorted, and it's just become this huge convoluted concoction of BS. And so that's why I'm like, I understand why people believe in Christianity and religion, why like people do it for culture, community, for connection, for just feeling hopeful and stuff like that. There's other ways to do it though. There's other ways instead of stooping down to like just idiotic thoughts and practices and ways of life that just really just hold people back. And so I'm trying to accelerate humanity. I'm trying to get you guys to pick up the pace. I can stop being so closed-minded and so just backwards and stuck in the past. I'm trying to push you guys forward, so you guys got to keep up, and I'm really trying to help all of you guys. That's literally my obligation to you. Like, it's definitely not a privilege to be around you, but it is my obligation. It's my mission. And so regardless of what I feel for you, and regardless, or like some of you are cool, but a lot of you are just, god damn, you guys are so frustratingly simple-minded sometimes. It's about certain things. Like, you don't like to be contradicted in your ideas, and I got that. That's a natural human thing, especially when you've been so indoctrinated into something that you don't want to take another outside opinion that contradicts what you believe. Like, you're just going to look for confirmation bias. And you're going to continue to pursue whatever you're doing, even though it's either a lie or it's bad or whatever it is. And so I'm looking for a way to try to get anybody who's religious, whether it's Islam, Judaism, Christianity, you go down the whole entire freaking list, you name it. If you're believing in gods and stuff without like actual evidence or proof, like Carl Sagan says, like extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and there is not really that much. I mean, there's a lot of evidence, but evidence isn't proof. We need proof in order to like actually move forward. So I'm reading your book. I'm going through it, and one of the other reasons why I'm saying all this is to say, basically identify where my position is now before I get into the Bible. I kind of really, before I really get into the Bible, to see it, maybe reading this, the Word of God will have some sort of like, make me have some sort of change of heart or anything like that. Yeah, I already know a lot. And based on what I've seen, I already have a strong feeling this whole entire thing is going to be a load of BS, but we're getting through it. We're doing the thing. We're doing the Bible studies. And so, yeah, that's pretty much where I stand now. And I just wanted to get that out there, just basically to be transparent. And so my mission is to be able to use these teachings, or I want to call them teachings, they're not really like good information, but I want to take this material that you guys read, or you guys don't understand. Half of you guys don't even fucking read it. Like, sorry, pardon my language. Like, half of you guys don't even like read it. You just like literally listen to word of mouth. You go to church on Sundays, sometimes even some of you don't do that. And so like, there's some people that would probably be easier to steer away from the church, and it's just corrupt teachings. But there's others that will be more difficult to persuade, and so that's why I'm really trying to get into it, so I could even use their information, maybe even know more about it than like a majority of people do. And so that way, no matter who it is I talk to, I at least have different supporting arguments, or I can point out contradictions and things like that. And even when I go to church, just being able to take notes and actually talk to people. And so I'm not just doing this here in person, staying in like a little closed little bubble like somebody with a freaking blog. Yeah, if you want to just talk to yourself, have a blog. But like right now, I'm actually looking for feedback. So I'm even going to church. I know I don't have any views on here, but anybody's always more than welcome to comment. I'm looking at the comments. And so if you say something about anything that I would say, go for it. I'm open to talking about it, open to responding, or at least hearing you out. Like, I'll read it and I'll at least say thanks for your input or something like that. I just like that because like it's feedback. I like feedback. Feedback is information. It's communication. It's collaboration. That's moving forward. We need to do that more. So just stay stuck in your ways. Shoo. I was gonna say a naughty word. I'm trying to work on the profanity a little bit. So freaking frustrated. So people, and there's so much improvement that people need to make, and It's gonna be a lot of work, but we're gonna do it, and we got to work together to do it. So feel free to comment here, but I'm going out of my way. I'm going to church. I'm going out to the world, trying to talk to people. Obviously, like regular people, they don't really want to talk about religion anyway. I'm not trying to keep on putting that idea in their head, because obviously humanity needs to steer away from that. But yeah, this is really why we're doing these videos, like just to see where I stand now. So I'm just admitting that to you. I'm not gonna just put on a charade and lie to your face and say like, "Oh yeah, I believe in God." Like, dude, I don't believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, or freaking leprechauns either. I don't believe in all this other made up crap. So we're gonna see if one, we get a change of heart or anything, we learned anything, but two, we're gonna see if we can use this information against not really against, we're against is not a good word because we're actually genuinely trying to do things for people. It's just against the idea. We're working for the people, just against the backwards ideologies and philosophies and other just dumb stuff that people just keep on doing and talking about. So we need to make sure we cut that crap out. So we're just gonna get into it, man. I just felt like I had to get that out. I can't lie. Like, I gotta be honest, man. Like I really can't just like I can't lie, man. I was trying to avoid saying that at first for the initial Bible studies just because like I was trying to be respectful, but I'm frustrated as hell, man. And like this is something we definitely need to solve. So I'm at least just getting my perspective out there so that way we can, just start picking up the pace and hopefully people can start listening up and we can move forward in a positive direction instead of just regressing and doing the same old dumb shit. All right. Again, I'm working on my profanity, but at the same time, for lack of a better term, if I can't think of a better term, as much time, I'm just gonna say stuff and I'll still be like kind of conscientious of it and just I'm doing my best to clean up the language, but it's gonna take practice. It's gonna take time. It's not gonna be all of a sudden. Kind of like saving humanity from itself. It's gonna take time, but we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it the right way. So, we're looking to be diplomatic, and so we're trying to look into your stuff. All right, come on, people. We gotta get your shit together, man. Y'all gotta wise up, man. It's so dumb. Like, come on. I wish I could just like share my thoughts and everything I know, just like through Bluetooth or something like that. Just read my freaking mind, man. Like you'd be able to open your eyes and see. I'm still trying to get better at being more articulate too, and express myself correctly. Like I know I'm right. It's just I need to figure out a way to convince people. Arguments, evidence, proof. Yeah, we're being better than people. We're not gonna be operating like people do, just fighting fire with fire, trying to, you know, wage war or whatever you might call it, like even whether it be like kind of figurative in the figurative sense, but like just in the sense that you're like attacking people and like trying to harm them and stuff like that. It's like no, you attack the ideas, but you help the people by convincing them that, some of their ideas are stupid as hell. And you just got to convince them the right way. Like you can't be like condescending, and that's one thing I'm really trying to work on. Just not having a lot of contempt for. It's just so laughable, man. It's depressing and it's just infuriating all at the same time. It's very difficult to deal with people, especially when they're extremely closed-minded and all right. Well, let's get through it. We're trying to power through this thing. So we'll see if your little imaginary friend speaks to me. Like I said, I'm not gonna have the audacity to say like, yeah, God, like for sure 100% isn't real, but if he is, definitely not all knowing, definitely not all powerful, and definitely not all good. Something else out there that maybe we've experienced in the past, like even aliens sound more legitimate than God. I'm literally using like arguments where maybe we experienced a different alien race come down to Earth and interact with people and they just didn't understand who it was or what it was or the technology and everything like that. And so they said it was angels, it was God, it was blah blah blah, it was Jesus, like whatever. I'm like, you guys try to create these terms and different words for it as like placeholders because there was limited knowledge back then and you only had a limited vocabulary, and again only a limited amount of people could actually read and write and have the knowledge of certain things, read certain books and stuff like that, and they'll take that knowledge and tell the people who couldn't read or write, like, just twist the information to whatever it is that suited their needs. Oh, I got you, man. I got you. Be corrected. There's no doubt about that. It's just I'm doing my best here to do it in a way that is understanding of you and peaceful and diplomatic. I feel like I'm repeating the same thing. I was trying to find a different way of saying things, maybe like clicks with other people, but we're good for now. Get into it. Kind, kind requires drastic modification. I'm the one that has to hold you accountable because you can't be trusted to do it yourself. Like you haven't been doing it yourself, you're just still perpetuating the same BS, mistruths, whatever you might call it. All right. Done. I just felt like I had to get that out. Like that felt right. That felt good. Like, who knows? Maybe the Lord was speaking through me. I don't know. I could just make up some crap like all the other pastors and religious leaders say is like, yeah, God spoke through me. Never know the fuck he didn't. All right. All right. That felt good and that felt right. I felt like I genuinely had to let that out. Oh, all right. It actually did really feel fucking good. I feel better. I feel like I got that off my chest. Damn. All right. All right. This dumbass shit. All right, here we go. Sorry. Your Holy Bible. Let's Oh my God, it's so tiresome and annoying trying to do with dumb people. All right, let's go. We're trying to save all of you though. We got you all. I might not like you, but I do have an obligation to you. So, yeah, saving you all, helping you all. All right, page 440 did the prayer. So if anybody you guys wanted to speak to your little imaginary friend, got a prayer for you. Again, that's a modified one, so you can have. Like, we're trying to like. I'm still working with you guys in the sense that I'm like giving you guys a prayer if you want it, but at the same time, like it's modified, so it's better. It's not as like outdated and like it doesn't. It kind of steers you away from certain things that are definitely incorrect or just not worded correctly. And so, and then it'll still be modified over time to be able to, rein people closer into reality and truth. So that's the process. It's going to be a process, but we'll enlighten humanity. We'll show it the way. We will show it the way. Peace, collaboration, compromise. Like, I'm willing to compromise with you. Obviously, I'm trying to lead by example here and show you how, even though you might disagree with something and not agree with the people, like, you have to be able to understand where they're coming from and who they are, why they are the way they are, if you really want to change them and help them to become better people. So that's what we're doing here. We're trying to help people become better people. That's the goal. So let's go. Page 440, we're on Sidon, Phoenician port north of Tyre on the Mediterranean. These two pagan cities served the evangelists as symbols of a corrupt civilization. America, Sidon? What? Phoenician port with the Tyre on the Mediterranean. These two pagan cities served the evangelists as symbols of corrupt civilization. Anybody who's religious or part of religion, that's corrupt civilization right there. It's manipulated and warped. Gotta help them. Let's go. Sihon, Amorite king defeated by Moses, thus enabling the Hebrews to reach the Jordan. Silas, an eminent member of the first Christian community of Jerusalem. He was the collaborator of St. Paul on his first two missionary journeys. Silas is the Greek form of a Hebrew name or the abbreviation of Silvanus, the Latin name of Silas. I was thinking about yesterday, and I've thought about this before, but when you're looking to replace this, you can't just take away someone's God, and you can't just take away the religion. We have to be able to provide alternatives. So if you're saying it's not this, then you have to be able to tell people what it actually is. And luckily we have science for that, and we have a lot of citations and references we can use for that. But there's still gaps, and so we still need to accumulate knowledge. We just need to steer people away from stuff like the Bible and Torah and the Quran and all this other stuff that just leads people astray from the truth. And just kind of blinds people and makes them follow like little dumb sheep. And obviously, if you wise up and you change your ways, you're not a dumb sheep. But I feel like it's almost like a joke where like people are called lambs and like part of the flock. It's like literally just calling you sheep straight to your face. Saying the quiet part out loud. Silas is an eminent member of the first Christian community of Jerusalem. He was the collaborator of St. Paul on his first two missionary journeys. Silas is the Greek form of a Hebrew name or the abbreviation of Silvanus, the Latin name of Silas. Siloam, or Siloam, pool situated south of the city of Jerusalem. It was the point to which the waters of the spring of Gihon were diverted by means of a subterranean conduit built by the engineers of King Hezekiah. Simeon. 3 persons bear this name in the New Testament. 1, the old man who received the child Jesus in his arms when he was presented in the temple. 2, Simeon, influential member of the Christian community at Antioch. 3, Peter the Apostle, according to his Hebrew name. He is also called Simon. Simon is a Greek name corresponding to the Hebrew name Simeon. It is borne by 9 persons in the New Testament. 1, Simon, surnamed Peter the Apostle, brother of Andrew. 2, Simon the Zealot, one of the 12 apostles. 3, Simon the brother of the Lord. 4, Simon the leper of Bethany. 5, Simon of Cyrene, who carried the cross behind Jesus. 6, Simon the Pharisee, at whose house the unknown sinner received Jesus' forgiveness. 7, Simon, father of Judas Iscariot. 8, Simon Magus, adversary of the apostles. 9, Simon the tanner, with whom St. Peter lodged. Sin. In the Old Testament, sin is not so much a wrong action in one's conscience as something that disrupts the order of the world wished by God. So the church didn't want anybody contradicting them with more educated beliefs. So they call them sins and try to instill fear in the people. And that was absolutely corrupt. And damn it. The church is broken. I mean, obviously, well, churches, their ways of thinking are broken. I wish the church was broken. But their ways of thinking are definitely broken and anachronistic. And so the world needs modification. That's exactly what I'm here to do. So let's do it. It's funny how people slap on labels on things that just goes against their ways, and they try to label it as evil or sinful or blasphemy or whatever, and they throw all these buzzwords at it to try to convince people like, oh yeah, you don't want to do that thing. And then enough peer pressure, and then you say it enough, and then people start to believe it. And then they live it enough and becomes like part of who they are, indoctrinated into them. It's just how we're wired, and they just basically hijack and manipulate our brain wiring to push their loads crap. God damn, humanity's frustrating, man. But I'm trying my very best to be patient with you guys. Just trying my very best to find ways to help you in ways that don't hurt you, and trying to just bring you all forward. I genuinely am. I know I talk a lot of shit, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I am trying to help you. I just really need you guys to wise up, man. Really need you guys to step up your fucking game. Again, pardon my French. Just, I'm working on that. Y'all need to work on things too. We're working together here. We'll make progress. It's just gonna take time. I realize that. It's just, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so sin in the Old Testament, in the Old Testament, sin is not so much a wrong action in one's conscience as something that disrupts the order of the world wished by God, and particularly the covenant fixed by the law. Thus, the Israelite did not search himself for deep causes or establish its relationship with original sin. It is necessary to wait for the book of wisdom to find such an allusion, not with an I, it's with an A. The New Testament describes sin as relating to original sin and tells of the universal sorrow because of sin. Erased by the redemption, it describes responsibility for it. This conception of sin thus became linked with the ideas of faith and love that gave life to Christians. Sin, central part of the Sinai Peninsula, which the Hebrews crossed, and which has become the prototype of an isolated desert. Sisera, head of the army of Jabin, king of Canaan, killed by Jael, wife of Heber. Smyrna, city of Asia Minor on the shores of the Aegean Sea. The Christian community that was established there constituted one of the 7 churches to whom the book of Revelation was addressed. Sodom, one of the cities of the Pentapolis that was destroyed by fire from heaven at the same time as Gomorrah. Both had a sinister reputation of immortality, and the punishment meted out to these cities was used by the New Testament writers as a warning against immortality and an example of its consequences. Yeah, I'm thinking it was just like a joint operation, like did 2 things at the same time, and it was coordinated, like lighting fires, or both cities were just very poorly run and poorly governed, and it was more anarchic, or we call it anarchic. There's a lot of anarchy And it was just very poorly run and wasn't a lot of like it wasn't managed well, and certain standards of safety may not have been great, and just different fires spread and stuff like that. We've had so many fires spread, like the San Francisco fire, Chicago fire, San Francisco one, I think the Chicago fire, I don't know. Like either way, there's been like so many fires since then, and we don't say like, "Oh, God sent down His fury from heaven" or whatever, blah blah blah. There's some Bible's full of just made up stuff. It's like, I mean, man, like it's possible. Like I'm sure, like yeah, different cities were destroyed, but the reasoning behind it is you're just making up some bullshit reason. That's definitely probably far from the truth. Like there are people that you didn't like, and so you said like, yeah, the wrath of God like came down and got them, but that's all made up. Like it's, see what you're doing. People have done it all throughout history. It's a cycle. There's a pattern in it. You want to word it, you're not that smart once you figure out like the marketing techniques and the psychological manipulation strategies. Like you tend to catch on. You're able to like sniff out the BS. All right, sniff out some more BS. Let's go. There's plenty of it in here. Pages and pages full of it. But we're trying to understand why certain people believe it. So, gotta read it. You gotta understand them. So, let's go. Meditation. Punishment meted out these cities was used by the New Testament writers as a warning against immortality and an example of its consequences. Yeah, you guys are trying to push a certain narrative. I can already tell. I already knew that. Moving on. Son, in Hebrew, this word is used to designate diverse relations or diverse relations or dependencies. Sorry, I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I gotta calm down. So frustrating how wrong people are. All right. Obviously, I'm not perfect either, but it's just like I'm smart enough to realize that we're good. Just had to take a second. All right. Son, in Hebrew, this word is used to designate diverse relations or dependencies. One, relations of direct descendants. Two, revelations of disciples to their master. Three, relations of origin or analogy. And four, moral relations. Son of Man, an enigmatic title, Jewish apocryphal tradition, uses it to describe a unique religious personage, a Messiah with extraordinary spiritual endowments. Jesus' use of it seems to derive from Ezekiel 2, where it is a title of humility, and Daniel 7:13f, where it indicates a clearly messianic figure. It expresses for him his twofold destiny of suffering and of glory. Peter, along with the other disciples, fails, despite his confession, to grasp the association of suffering and death with the office of Messiah. Only after the resurrection does the Christian community endow it with its messianic meaning. Soothsayers or fortune tellers. They are to be identified with the false prophets who were numerous in antiquity. Moses took severe measures to forbid divining practices. Contradicted you? You wanted to silence them? You didn't want to give them freedom of speech? And Moses was an asshole. If Moses was actually did exist, this guy was a dick. Total fucking little bitch. Sorry. Again. All right, we gotta find a different word. Not that B word. Let's say dumbass. Nope, that's still kind of a curse. Moron. There we go. That's fine. Moses was a moron and kind of a prick. You call someone an asshole, but in a nicer way. Douche? No, that's what's a nicer word for dickhead or asshole? Moses was a donkey. There we go. Donkey. Donkey butt. A donkey poop shoot. Yeah, Moses sucked. All right. He took blah blah blah. Okay. Soul. In its first sense, the Hebrew word nefesh signifies breath, life, the principle of animal life. It was only much later, toward the beginning of the Christian era, that the Hebrews adopted the distinction of Greek philosophy of soul and body. Spirit, literally breath, it is an element with as little materiality as possible. It is the innermost part of man, more subtle than his soul. The Old Testament, I think we were looking for is hydrogen. Hydrogen. Just kidding. The Old Testament attributes to the Spirit of God both external and internal actions. Actually, no, would that be right? Because hydrogen is just smaller. Or hold on, I might not be completely correct about that. I might not be thinking about that right. Hold on. See, I do catch myself when I know I'm wrong. Or like when I'm like I might be wrong. Even when I might be wrong, I do correct myself. But if I do know I'm right about something, I'm gonna say that. If I know I'm wrong about something, I'll admit that too. So I am, like I said, honesty, disclosure, truth. And so we're trying to get closer to that. And so if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But if I'm right, I'm also gonna, say that just so other people can hear it. And so other people can be pointed on the right path too. I'm never gonna ever intentionally steer anybody wrong. I'm always gonna try to point you in the right direction, kind of like a good parent looking after his children. Um, okay, humanity, I'm that parent, be like, yeah, those are my kids. I don't know how fucking good that is. Like, but then at the end of the day, you're like, all right, yeah, cool. The kid's getting in trouble. We gotta help him. Let's go. Come on. Let's sit down and talk to you. All right. Where were we? The Old Testament attributes the Spirit to the Spirit of God, both is an element with his own materiality. Part of man, more subtle than his soul. The Old Testament attributes to the Spirit of God both external and internal actions that surpass human powers. The Spirit is a person distinct from the Father and the Son. Each Christian possesses the Spirit. He is the principle of life and a pledge of resurrection. Yeah, everybody has breath, oxygen. Good for you. You figured out air. Stator. I don't know. Then you try to make it something more magical because you guys like to feel better about yourselves and things and try to increase motivation and enthusiasm about things, and so you hyperbolize it. So now we got words like spirit. Stater, Greek money in silver worth 4 drachmas. It corresponded to the Hebrew shekel. This was the coin found by Peter in the fish's mouth. Fish saw a coin, saw something reflected, ate it, and then a little piece. Stiff-necked, graphic expression evoking the image of a stiff beast of burden in its work and symbolizing Israel's callousness toward evil. Oh, dang, we're way over time. All right. I am extremely annoyed and I feel frustrated. Still a successful Bible study because I was able to be honest and get my thoughts out there. And so, like I said, if the Bible reading through this whole entire thing manages to give me a little change of heart, then I'll admit that, and we'll see how we change along the way. Or if we can figure out how to find different contradictions and just outdated ideas and premises in here that really shouldn't be perpetuated or used to exacerbate the flaws in humanity. So, yeah, doing our best here, just find ways to find a amicable and diplomatic solution to, bringing people forward, progress, real, actual progress, not just like use nothing close to like what people say in the media is progressive. Like they just slap that word on a bunch of things. It's not progressive thinking. It's just different ways of thinking, and a lot of it's actually regressive. And so we're actually trying to make true, genuine progress here by, delving into the information, soaking it all in, man. Trying to understand why you guys think the way you do. Figure you guys out, man. Trying to figure out why you guys think dumb shit. Sorry. I'm going to try to work on the way I articulate myself and saying things. Again, it's going to be a process and we're working on that, but just to make a note of it on the record that I'm looking to, not be so abrasive and be a little bit kinder and understanding of people, even if I don't agree with them. I've got to be able to find ways of communicating with them in a respectful and professional, or you just got to figure out how to God. See, this is what I'm trying to get better at, just like finding words to say. I need to expand my vocabulary or something because I feel like I'm saying the same words, but I need something that more precise. I'm trying to help you guys. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. Being patient, being professional, being open. I'm gonna wrap it up. We already went way over time, so we can do that. I'm gonna do another one real quick. Just like reading through it, not gonna go on as much as a rant or anything like that. I just felt like all that needed to be said, and so like it felt really good to get that out. So thank you for listening to me. I am also willing to listen to you, and so um, everybody involved, like we need to try to find a way to understand each other and talk to each other, but in doing so, finding ways to approach those situations and approach those conversations in a civilized and a civilized manner that doesn't just deliberately try to offend people, or it basically has a good intent to it. And so that's what I'm trying to find, a way of approaching everyone. Like this isn't the only thing I'm trying to fix. Like religion's just one of many things that humanity has led humanity astray. And so we're finding different ways for a lot of things. I'm a busy guy, man. I've got a lot of things to solve. So we're getting to it. We're doing the thing. I'll end with a prayer for you guys if you want one. Morning whispers of grace and trust. Beloved Lord, as I pause in this moment, let the calling of the birds remind me of your own voice, gentle, constant, and full of love. Help me hear you in every whisper of creation, knowing that you are always near. Father, you have declared that if you are for us, who can be against us? Let that truth settle deeply in my heart today. Strengthen my faith so that I may walk with confidence, trusting that your presence surrounds me. You know the plans you have for me, plans to prosper me and not to harm me, plans to give me hope and a future. Teach me to rest in those promises even when the path feels uncertain. Let your promises unfold in my life with grace and clarity. And when I come before you in prayer, remind me that you listen. You hear every cry, every hope, every quiet longing. Draw me close to you, Lord, and let my life reflect the trust I place in your loving hands. Amen. All right. Have a blessed and miraculous day. All right, we're done. Wrap this one up. We're going to do another one, probably less just going off. Again, we're improving along the way. Just really trying to be patient. Trying to think about this the right way. We're doing it. We'll help. This is going to take time. All right. Let's go. Need y'all to pick up the pace.